The biggest battles are the ones no one can see, not because they are invisible, but because they are happening inside your own mind. Let's understand the psychology behind them.
Stress and pressure. Have you ever wondered why the two people can face the same exam, the same failure, the same situation, yet one of them performs at their best while the other completely collapses? Let's talk about why that happens. But first of all, you need to understand that pressure and stress both are not the same terms. Most of the people use these terms interchangeably, but psychologically they are completely different. So, pressure is external, it comes from exams, family expectations, or society, or anything happening around you. But stress is internal. Stress is your body's response to the pressure. Your body sends signals that something needs to be changed, either inside you or the way you are handling the situation. Okay, but the problem is we usually ignore those signals. And when pressure keeps increasing, our body starts creating stress as a response to the pressure. Remember, your body doesn't randomly create stress. Okay, stress appears only when the pressure exists and you don't adapt to it. So here everything is connected. First of all, you need to understand this. Now think about this. Why does the same exam affect the two students so differently? Let me tell you why. When the pressure starts building gradually, one person begins making better decisions. They adapt, they change their strategies, they become stronger with every challenge. But on the other side, the another person, they delay actions. Okay, they wait for the perfect time. Okay, hoping everything will be, somehow align on its own. So instead of adapting, their pressure keeps increasing, and at a time, after a time, the pressure eventually turns into the overwhelming stress, and finally they collapse. There is actually a psychological principle behind this. It's called as Yerkes-Dodson law. It states too little pressure creates extra laziness. Too much pressure destroys your performance, but the moderate pressure produces your highest level of performance. The goal is to not eliminate the pressure, but our goal is to keep it at that level where it helps you to grow, where it pushes you without breaking you. Whenever your brain sees a situation as a threat, it automatically switches into a survival mode. And the survival mode has only three responses. The first is fight, where you are hyper focused, you are fully alert, you are ready to solve the problem. And the second is flight, where you procrastinate, you delay the action, you just say, I will do this later, I will do it later. And the third is freeze, where your mind goes blank. You know what to do, but your body refuses to move. That's exactly why some students forget everything inside the exam hall, while the others suddenly remember every concept they have studied. So the lesson is the pressure may be the same, but the stress is never the same. Because stress depends on how your brain interprets the situation. Pressure is not the enemy, but ignoring the pressure is. Okay, so instead of waiting for everything to become perfect, take actions while the pressure is still manageable. Because every action you take today reduces tomorrow's stress, and slowly pressure stops feeling like a burden and starts becoming your strength. Fear and comparison. Have you ever wondered why do we imagine the worst before anything has even happened? Why does the fear try to convince us that we'll fail before we have even taken the first step? So, what exactly is fear? Most people think fear is a sign of weakness, but it's not. In reality, fear is a survival mechanism. Its purpose is not to stop you, its purpose is to protect you. There is an interesting psychological fact called as negativity bias. It says whenever we face something new, there are always two possibilities, one that leads to the growth and the other that carries the risk. And our brain naturally pays more attention to the risk. It treats the negative information as more important than the positive information. That's why even when there is a real opportunity in front of us, our brain immediately starts imagining everything that could go wrong. And that's why we feel fear before an exam, before an interview, and even before seeing our results. Your brain is not trying to make you unsuccessful, it's simply trying to keep you alive. Your brain confuses in uncertainty and the danger. Now let's talk about the comparison. Comparison doesn't happen because someone else is better than you. It just happens because your brain is searching for certainty. When someone else is at a position or standing at a position where you want to be, your mind assumes that if I become like them, I will finally feel the safe, I will finally feel the certain. And that's the psychology behind the comparison. Okay. So, how do we overcome this? The fear and the comparison. So, if we talk about the fear, so first of all, the first step, the basic step is to listen to your fear instead of fighting it. Okay, the fear is not stopping you. Okay, it is not a stop sign. It's simply a signal that your brain has detected uncertainty, not necessarily a danger. You need to understand this. Uncertainty and danger, these are two completely different. So this was the first step that you should do. Second is give your fear a name. Ask yourself, am I afraid of failure, judgment, an embarrassment, or whatever? Okay, because a fear with a name is much easier to understand. Now the second step is separate the facts from the stories. Don't create the unnecessary disaster inside your mind. Okay, because most of the things you are afraid of never actually happen. Your brain is just filling in the blanks with the imagination, but reality is much simpler. Okay, and the third is just take small actions, because confidence is never built before the actions, it is built because of the actions. That's it. And finally, if you want to escape comparison, remember this: you have only one person to compare yourself with, and that is your past self. Because you never truly know someone else's complete journey. You only see the highlights. You don't see their struggles. You don't see their failures or the price they paid to get there. Okay. Learn from the other people to grow in your own life, but measure yourself against the person you were yesterday, and that's the only way to escape the comparison. And one last thing, If comparison keeps controlling your life, just limit the sources that triggers it constantly. First one, social media. Second one, negative environment. And the third one, the people who make you question your own worth. Sometimes protecting your peace is the first step to protecting your growth. Emotions and loneliness. Did you ever think, why do we sometimes feel lonely even when we are surrounded by people? Or why do our emotions sometimes controls us more than the logics? Let's understand the psychology behind it. What is loneliness? People think being alone means being lonely, but that's completely wrong. It is totally wrong. There is a huge difference between these two. Okay, being alone is simply a physical state, but loneliness is an emotional state. You can be sitting in a room full of people but still feeling completely alone. And that's where people misunderstand the loneliness. There is a psychological concept called the need to belong theory. It explains that the human brain is naturally wired to seek the connections. Throughout the evolution, survival depend on living in groups or around the people. So loneliness or being rejected or being isolated once meant danger. So because of that, even today, our brain interprets loneliness as a threat. That's the psychology behind this. The deepest pain is not the absence of people, it is the absence of being understood. So that's what truly hurts. Now let's talk about the emotions. So people try to fight with the emotion, they try to suppress their emotions. But you need to understand that emotions are not our enemy. Okay, they are information. They tell you that something is happening, but they don't tell you what you should do. The problem begins when we make decisions based only on our emotions. Remember this, just because you feel something, this doesn't mean that it's complete truth. The first thing you need to change is your perspective. Loneliness is not always asking you to find more and more people. Sometimes it's just asking you to understand yourself better. Okay, stop treating every moment or every moment alone as a punishment. It's an opportunity. So take it and work on it and grow. The real solution to loneliness is not finding more and more people every day, every week, every month. No. The real solution to loneliness is just convert this into the solitude. There is a difference. Loneliness makes you feel empty, but solitude helps you to grow. Learn to enjoy your own company. Because if you are uncomfortable spending just 1 hour with yourself, how can you expect someone else to enjoy years with you? Enjoy spending a lot of years with you? This is senseless. This is not possible. First of all, just live yourself. Just be full of yourself. Okay, then eventually, genuine people that you deserve, they come and they stay with you. That's how it works. And when I say solitude, it doesn't mean that cut off with the whole world or don't talk to anyone. Solitude means just love with yourself, just enjoy to living your own company. It means if you don't have anyone to talk, still you are happy with your own company. You can talk to yourself without being bored. Okay, that's what solitude means. and that is very, very important, and that's the only way to overcome the loneliness. And one thing I would say, never become emotionally dependent on one person, one relationship, or one source of validation. I am not saying that they will leave you, definitely they will leave you after a time. No, but because anything you completely depend on, so after a time, they eventually gains control over your peace, control over your mental peace. So that's not good. So just protect that peace. And finally, before reacting to any emotion, just do four things. First of all, understand it. Second of all, name it. Third, observe it. And fourth, respond. And the best line of this topic, I would love to say that don't let the temporary emotions make permanent decisions of your life. It's very harmful, so don't do it. And remember, you deserve to be understood, not simply noticed. And your emotions, your feelings, your loneliness deserve to be explored, not just escaped. Now the last one topic of this video is the most important topic, that is your mental health. If your mind is your greatest asset, then why do we protect everything except our mental health? When the people hear the word mental health, they immediately think of the depression, anxiety, and all. But your mental health is much more than that. It's focus, it's your peace, it's your emotional stability, it's your capability of making quality decisions, it's the energy that you bring to your life every single day. That's the mental health. And suppose if I say that his mental health is not good, people immediately think that he is in depression, he is full of anxiety, and that's all. But that's not true. This is not the meaning of a bad mental health. Maybe he's not able to focus. Maybe he's feeling less energetic. Maybe he's making some bad decisions. These are all the sign of a bad mental health. Not always you are in depression, you are just full of anxiety. No. People just think that they'll watch a video on YouTube that how to release stress, how to deal with anxiety and depression, but you don't need to watch any videos like that. Okay, because it's not necessary that if your mental health is bad, that you are in depression. No, there are a lot of reasons of a bad mental health. So first of all, you should find reasons of it. Okay, that's very, very important to understand. What is the true meaning of mental health? It's not always depression, anxiety, or stress. No. One of the biggest mistake we all make is giving everyone access to our mind. But at this age, you should really need to understand that not every opinion, not every argument, not deserve your attention and your energy. That's it. The more expectations you carry, when you carry a lot of expectations, either from the people or from anyone else, your brain, your mind becomes so much heavier, and that is not good for a good mental health. You need to understand this. That is not good for a good mental health. Most people don't even realize it at first. They think it's just one toxic relationship, it's just one toxic person, it's just one toxic argument, or it's just one negative comment. Okay, but day by day, those small changes, those small things quietly reshape your mind. Okay, protecting your mental peace, your mental health is not selfishness, it's our responsibility. So you should do this just for yourself. Okay, because if your mind is not healthy, nothing else will stay healthy for long, and that is completely true. There is no doubt in this. Here are some simple rules to protect your mental health and peace. Okay, first of all, set boundaries. Okay, this is very important in today's generation. Okay, because if someone constantly disturbs your peace, drains your energy, or if someone repeatedly disrespect your boundaries, okay, then you don't need to convince them to change. Sometimes walking away is the healthiest decision that you can make for yourself, for your future, and for your healthy mindset and peace. That's it. The second, which is very important, is choose your circle carefully, because the people around you slowly become the voices inside your head. Okay, at first they may seem supportive, kind, trustworthy, but if their presence constantly leaves you emotionally exhausted or emotionally drained, then that is not support. That is pure toxicity. First of all, you need to understand this, because a healthy circle always respect your peace, always encourages your growth, and never asks you to sacrifice yourself just to belong. That's what the meaning of a healthy circle. At the end, I would just say, protect your mind the same way as you protect your future, because one creates another, and that is very deeply connected. Yes, so that's all for the today's video. So let me know in the comment section that about which topic should we talk about in the next video. So I'll see you in the next one.